Greetings to everyone. Today, we from Group 5 are going to present our presentation about the effect of air storage on stress corrosion cracking of ZK60 alloy induced by preliminary immersion in natrium chloride-based corrosion solution. So first, our group is contains of 4 members. First, Romeo Desatrio, and then second, myself, Samuel Luis Fajar, and the third, Zaidun Kais, and the fourth, Hanifan Fitrotullah. So in this presentation will contain 4 contents. The first one is introduction, second material and methods, the third one is result and discussion, and the last one is conclusion.
First of all is introduction. Magnesium alloys being tensile tested in air after preliminary exposure to corrosive media suffer from a significant drop in mechanical properties, which is accompanied by a change in the fracture mode from ductile to brittle. This phenomenon, also known as pre-exposure stress corrosion cracking or PSCC, also referred to as pre-exposure embrittlement. Since the specific condition inducing PSCC are less common in practice than those responsible for true stress corrosion cracking or SCC, significantly less attention has been paid to the former phenomenon. Nevertheless, understanding the mechanism governing of PSCC is of great importance because it shed light on the nature of SCC, which is still under debate. For example, the widespread belief that hydrogen plays a key role in the mechanism of SCC is primarily based on the observed similarity between the features of PSCC and hydrogen embrittlement or HE in other metallic material. It is established that the degree of PSCC in many magnesium alloys increases while decreasing strain rate and increasing time of pre-exposure in various corrosion solutions. Longer pre-exposure found to cause more significant corrosion damage and a larger brittle-like area on the peripheral parts of the fracture surface, accompanied by an increase in hydrogen's concentration in the test specimen. A recent study has challenged this belief and shown that the role of diffusible hydrogen in PSCC can be substantially less important than that the corrosion product layer deposited on the side surface of the metal during pre-exposure. In particular, it was reported that PSCC in the alloys ZK60 and AZ31 preliminarily immersed in the NACl-based corrosion solution was completely eliminated by the chemical removal of corrosion product layer, provided that irreversible corrosion damage was not too high. Furthermore, a negligible concentration of diffusible hydrogen was found in the base metal of these alloys after the removal of corrosion product. The presence of corrosion solution inside this layer is indicated by the crest of corrosion product, which was observed on the peripheral part of the fracture surface of the alloy ZK60 and brittle to 2PSCC. Originally, this crest was attributed to corrosion damage, which is induced during pre-exposure. However, it was demonstrated that this corrosion product were formed not during the pre-exposure, but exactly during post-exposure mechanical testing in air. Two independent experimental observations corroborated this finding. The suggestions that the corrosion product layer containing the corrosion solution inside can be responsible for PSCC of magnesium alloys prompted us to review this topic with new experimental findings relevant to PSCC, which has been exclusively associated with the effect of hydrogen so far. In particular, It was reported that vacuum annealing or long exposure to dry air after immersion in corrosion solution suppresses PSCC of magnesium alloys to a certain extent.
The chemical composition, microstructure, and manufacturing method of the alloy were all identical to those discovered in previous studies. In the current experiment, the hot extruded commercial alloy ZK60 was utilized in its raw form. The alloy's chemical makeup, microstructure, and manufacturing method were all the same as those found in earlier investigations. To release any remaining tensions, all specimens and samples were annealed in a vacuum for 2 hours at 250 degrees Celsius. Prior to SRRT testing, samples were exposed to a corrosive solution at an open circuit potential without any outside stress. Then they were immersed for 1 minute in an aqueous solution of 20% chromium trioxide and 1% silver nitrate. The fracture and side surfaces of the SRRT test specimens were examined using X-ray microscope. To perform quantitative geometric measurements, the built-in Smart SEM V05.04.00 Zeiss Jena Germany software or the freeware image V1.52U NIH Bethesda MD USA were used. An energy dispersive X-ray EDS detector equipped scanning electron microscope SEM Sigma Zeiss Jena Germany was used to examine the fracture and side surfaces of the SRRT test specimens EDAX Mehwa and J USA. The built-in SmartSEM V05.04.05 Zeiss Jena Germany software or the freeware image V1.52U NIH Bethesda MD USA were used to do the quantitative geometric measurements of the specified locations on the fracture surfaces. Utilizing the hot extraction method in N2, the G8 Galileo Brücker Kalkar Germany gas analyzer assessed the thermal desorption of the hydrogen from the pre-exposed samples. The filters remove impurities like carbon dioxide and water, cleaning the gas mixture. The G8 Galileo gas analyzer evaluated the thermal desorption of hydrogen from the pre-exposed samples using the hot extraction method in N2. 99.999% lean gas. Carrier gas flux. The set of filters clean the gas mixture by removing contaminants like carbon dioxide and water.
And now we will discuss about the results and discussion. 1. Mechanical properties. The mechanical testing showed that the specimens which were SSRT tested in air within a few minutes after pre-exposure to the corrosion solution demonstrated a substantial loss in strength and ductility compared to the reference specimens. The removal of corrosion products resulted in complete recovery of ductility and partial recovery strength in all specimens tested. The effect of storage temperature on the strength pre-exposure specimen is more complex than on ductility. 2. Fractographics and side surface observation. The quantitative fractographic analysis showed that, in general, the increase in the time and temperature of post-exposure storage in air results in the significant reduction in both the total area of the fracture surface and the area of the PESCC zone. Total fracture surface area and the area of the PESCC zone decreased significantly with increasing time and temperature of post-exposure storage in air. 3. Hydrogen desorption analysis. The thermal desorption analysis showed that concentration of hydrogen extracted from the pre-exposed samples in the temperature range between 24 and 450 degrees Celsius. CH 24 to 450 decreased notably with increasing temperature and time of air storage. 4. Diffusible hydrogen in the matrix. The result of the present study show that PESCC of the alloy ZK60 can be completely eliminated by air storage of the specimens pre-exposed to the liquid corrosive environment. The explanation of such a prominent effect of air storage, the contribution of a few factors which can potentially affect the PESCC behavior. The PESCC phenomenon and its suppression by the storage in air can hardly be associated with the concentration of diffusible hydrogen in the matrix. 5. The corrosion solution in the corrosion product layer. The corrosion product regions were formed during the pre-exposure. They would be absorbed in the cross-section of the specimen right after the pre-exposure, while their size will not be affected by the strain rate or condition of air storage. The correlation between the length of this region and the degree of PESCC observed in the present study suggests that the corrosion solution obtained within the corrosion product layer plays a crucial role in the mechanism of PESCC. 6. Hydrogen in the corrosion product layer. The evolution of hydrogen is an inalienable part of the corrosion process of Mg in aqueous solutions. Hydrogen can be produced during the pre-exposure of the specimen as well as during the subsequent air storage if the corrosion solution sealed within the corrosion product layer interacts with the bare metal of the specimens. The generation of hydrogen via the corrosion reaction, which occurs within the surface layer of the pre-exposed specimen stored in the inert environment. Hydrogen can stay the corrosion product layer in the molecular and atomic forms.
7. Microstructural transformations. The long post-exposure storage in air at temperatures above 100 degrees Celsius affects the strength of the alloy ZK60 in the reference and corrosion product-free state. The corrosion pits produced at such anodic sites act as favorable nucleation points for the stress corrosion cracks. The greater number of active corrosion sites should also produce more hydrogen gas and corrosion products. This is supported by the anomalous increase in the concentration hydrogen extracted in the temperature intervals of 24 until 300 degrees Celsius and 300 until 450 degrees Celsius respectively. And then number 8, the scope of further research. This embrittlement is generally accepted to be due to diffusible hydrogen, which however plays less important role in PESCC of magnesium alloys. The generality of the findings gained in the present study in regard to the driven mechanism of PESCC is to be clarified also on a more global scale, accounting for a wider range of metallic materials. The corrosion product layer are of particular interest and will be considered in the forthcoming studies.
Next conclusion. Point 1. Pre-exposure stress corrosion cracking or PESCC of the alloy ZK60 can be fully or partially inhibited by air storage after pre-exposure in corrosion solution. Point 2. It is suggested that the side surface layer of the corrosion product on the pre-exposure specimen serves as a container for the breathing agents such as hydrogen and the corrosion solution. Point 3. That both hydrogen and the corrosion solution storage within the side surface layer of corrosion product play vital roles in the mechanism of PESCC.
Okay, so I think that's all of our presentation in this moment. I would like to say thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day.